So you click Buy Now, and a day or two later, a package just shows up at your door. Kind of feels like magic, doesn't it? Well, behind that one simple click is this incredible, revolutionary system that has totally changed how we all shop. Let's unpack how that journey from some warehouse to your house has been completely transformed.
No, seriously, just think about it for a second. That last thing you bought online, maybe it was a phone, a book, or even your groceries. How did it really get from wherever it was made all the way across the country or the world and into your hands? The story behind that journey? Well, that's what we're going to get into.
For the longest time, the whole process was basically like a relay race. A product got handed off from one person to the next in this long, straight line, and every single handoff added more time and more cost. Let's break down how that traditional path used to work. Okay, so the first leg of the race kicks off right here. Goods get made, they're packed into these massive containers, and then shipped out in huge quantities. This is ground zero, the starting line, where everything is geared for just moving a ton of stuff all at once. All right, next up, those gigantic shipments get loaded onto trucks and sent out to regional warehouses. And in there, they get broken down into smaller loads, which then go to local depots to get broken down into even smaller loads. Each handoff is getting the product a little bit closer to you, sure, but it's also adding another layer, another step to the whole process. And the final stop on this tour, the shelf at a retail store. But here's what's really wild about this old model. Each of these players, the factory, the distributor, the store, they all pretty much operated in their own little bubbles. I mean, imagine different companies that barely even talk to each other. It created a system that was, as you can probably guess, just fundamentally disconnected and super inefficient. But then a huge shift started to happen. Companies began to realize that this whole thing wasn't just about moving boxes from point A to point B. Nope, it was about delivering something way more important. It was about delivering value. And this quote, it just nails that shift in thinking. The supply chain stopped being a one-way street. It became more of a conversation. See, it delivers the product to you, yeah, but it also sends incredibly valuable information about what you actually want back to the company. So how do modern companies actually master this two-way street? Well, a lot of them use a strategic framework, kind of like a playbook, called the Value Delivery System. Think of it as a four-step plan to make sure they're creating and delivering exactly what we, the customers, are really looking for. And the process itself makes a lot of sense. It all starts with choosing the value they want to offer. Then they have to actually provide it with their products and services. After that, they've got to communicate that value so you know about it. And finally, they need to capture that value back, in profits and customer loyalty. Let's look at a couple of the key ideas that make this whole system run.
It all starts right here with the value proposition. This is a company's core promise to you. It's the simple, powerful answer to the most important question you can ask, which is, why should I buy this from you? Literally everything else is built on top of that foundation.
And to deliver that value efficiently, companies look at something called the channel margin. The easiest way to think about this is like a pie. For every dollar you pay, everyone who touched that product along the way takes a little slice. By looking at that gap between the factory price and what you pay, a company can figure out which partners are actually adding value and which ones are just adding cost.
Okay, so this intense focus on value was setting the stage for a technological earthquake. And that earthquake, of course, was the internet. It didn't just tweak the old system, it absolutely shattered it and helped create something brand new. We're talking about the omnichannel revolution.
So what fueled this revolution? Honestly, it was a perfect storm. Online shopping just exploded and became the norm. Our own habits changed. We all started buying smaller things, but way more often. Then commerce jumped into our pockets with smartphones. And the final push, the pandemic, which basically squeezed a decade of e-commerce growth into just 1 year.
All this pressure forced companies to move from being multi-channel to omnichannel. So what's the big difference? Well, multi-channel is when a company has a store and a website, but they operate in totally separate worlds. Omnichannel is when they're all perfectly connected. They share inventory, they share data, and they have one single goal, giving you a totally seamless experience.
And what this means for you is pretty simple, actually. This isn't just some technical business term. It's the magic that lets you buy a shirt online and then just walk into a physical store to return it. It's how you can stand in an aisle, pull out your phone, and check if another store has the color you're looking for. It's one single, connected shopping world, and it's all built around you.
So where is all of this going? Well, this revolution is leading us to its ultimate conclusion. A supply chain so flexible and so intelligent, it can be tailored not just for a group of people, but for a single individual. Welcome to what we call the market of one. I mean, just look at this evolution. We started way back in the mass market era. One standard product for everybody. You know, the classic Ford Model T. Then things got a little more advanced with segmented markets, where different groups got different things. But now we are really entering the age of the market of one, where the entire goal is to give each person a totally personalized solution. So why is this all happening? There are three big forces pushing us here. First, companies get that they're selling experiences now, not just stuff. Second, we, the customers, we demand things on our own terms, on our schedule. And finally, and this might be the biggest one, the whole model has flipped on its head. The customer is no longer at the end of the chain. You are now at the center of a value web, pulling all the strings.
So, we've seen this incredible journey, from a simple relay race to a complex intelligence system built around a single person, you. The supply chain has become your supply chain. And as it gets smarter and faster, maybe even predicting what you want before you even know it, the real question isn't just what you'll ask of it next, but how will it change what you even think to ask for in the first place?